Welcome to this segment of Soul, Silence, and Sound. This is brought to you by BeSimply.
Stars, trees, clouds, and the moon. They all have a meaning and they look just like you.
Sound. This is a Sol+Luna Cycles brought to you by BeSimply. This is Suzanne, and I want to thank each and every one of you for being here in this moment. And we've just passed over last night where I am, where the new moon was at its fullness, and we are headed into the next lunar cycle, officially entering into summer and winter here in northern hemisphere. That summer vibes is rising, and in the southern hemisphere that winter vibe is rising, and our island nations are rocking steady. So I want to thank you all for taking a pause for yourself, and we'll be going through a little Dharma talk, Suzanne style, silent meditation, and we will also be receiving some sound. And elementally, I've shifted this for all of you for summer and winter. So it's in these seasons of summer and winter, it's a different moment to be in a full alchemical presence with the yang and the yin energy within you. And for summer, we have that fire, and it's inviting us into our heart center. And for winter, it's inviting us to go inward and be in repose. And it's the water is at a still point, even though we seek water when we're in the hotter months. A reminder, though, if you can stay with beverages that are closer to room temperature, that's going to help you out versus having cold drinks, even though they can be refreshing. And if you do, just remember to check in with your body temperature, especially if you're going in and out of air-conditioned environments, to make sure that you have layers and you drink some warm liquids to keep that fire flowing. Now, as we enter into this new lunar cycle, it's very profound, really beautiful, that there was this lead-in for the whole world, really, because of athletic sport. And I love that this has occurred this way. So I'm here in North America, and teams from all over the world have traveled here. And they are meeting many Americans that have never had the opportunity to travel abroad. And they are being greeted with big hearts, lots of love, curiosity, and a lot of just genuine love. And it's so beautiful to see. Watching the videos of people brought a lot of laughter and tears of joy for me personally. And so, when I talk to you guys about when you go into a new moon cycle, it's important to pay attention. And I would say in like what's arriving for you, and you can recapitulate what arrived a little bit before the new moon and as we flow in. And again, the new moon is this downward pulling time of alchemical clearing. And as a humanity, we're getting to use the joy and love, which is the season we're entering here in North America, to help in the clearing and welcoming us all into our heart, and to remember. So sometimes humans can get a little their panties in a bunch and kind of ruminate about something that they don't like, or they'll displace their annoyances on others because they're not content with where they're at or what they're doing. And that can build like really big, like snowball in the winter months. And all of a sudden, everyone can be in a pretty dark space if they choose not to pay attention. And what I've observed over these past couple of days is how many people are reflecting that all our visitors are reminding us of the value that America has grown into from the land that is a lot still preserved, the people and the hospitality and the way we do things different isn't necessarily bad, even though I was reflecting this morning that we've actually been shaming ourselves about certain things. And while we might go to other countries and want the quaintness and the antiquities, here we have all these people coming here and really taken back by many things that are happening here. Similar to what I saw, I think it was last year about this time when red envelope became accessible and Americans were looking in on China and met with a lot of kindness and love, and were really amazed that it wasn't like what we've been told. And so I think the biggest takeaway during this lunar cycle is that it's not always what it seems. And if you have the courage to maybe that heart energy step out of your comfort zone, sometimes that takes traveling to a faraway place. Sometimes that just takes a moment to talk to a stranger on the street, get to know your neighbor, open yourself up to healing from within so that you can really embrace all beings and lead with your heart. And so in Eastern teachings, the prayer is, may all beings everywhere be free. May they know the true causes of happiness. And those true causes of happiness are love for one another, not clingy love, not romantic love, not parent to child love, pure divine love. And may all beings know that. And what's really beautiful, I find, with Buddhist teachings is that is the sentiment. And there's the exercise of meeting perceptual duality and the enemy within and the divinity within, and how to transcend that because there's an understanding of the infinite and how that can be transmuted through really looking at self and then extending that heart energy when you go out into the world. And I feel like in this moment we're seeing that, and in North America especially, the people have really been beaten down in a way that a lot of people have lost hope. And if you're one of those people out there, I want to remind you that you matter and to hang in there. We're going through a big metamorphosis as a humanity. And sometimes the choices of others impact those that are doing their best and wanting to do good, yet all of us have been asked to carry part of the load, and that's what we do together, sometimes. So may this World Cup football, aka soccer for people that live in North America, inspire you all to see the humanity in all of us, and may it lead you to put down your prejudices, your nitpicky attitudes, your offense, being offended by people, and just to relax. Relax. It's summer and winter, good times to relax and be in repose, and to remind yourself that it's not that serious. And even in the most serious moments, there's levity there. And being that I work with people at the gateway of entering birth and death and the in-between life, there is levity in those tender moments. And so if inspired, as we make this full yang and yin shift, if you're inspired just to take a pause and look at where you can lead with your heart, and where you can extend some love and humanity and empathy for the benefit of all beings. And so where this comes in, the benefit of all beings, is that in Buddhist teachings there is the aspect that there are, or understanding that there are many world systems. And the other part that was happening this weekend is another kind of announcement on a official level and entertainment level of disclosure. And that disclosure is really indicating that there's people beyond just us in this human dimension, which I talked about in my Substack. And so the prayers, when the prayer is there for the benefit of all beings, it's not just people on the earth plane in this world system, it's beyond. And that's one thing that's going to be important. I'll put the Substack below, but if you want to go and listen to my talk about that, that might help. But imagine you start to have understandings that there are many beings and not just human beings, just like there's many animal species, many tree species, flowers. And as our consciousness continues to open, more and more of that will be visible. And if you meet those moments with your heart and divine love, that will help better equip you with understanding what is in front of you. No different than if you go abroad, like many travelers are doing right now, and they're meeting strangers and they're extending their heart, and the heart is being extended back to them, and a lot of joy is generated. Now, even if there's a being that isn't kind, or there's a being that's suffering so much inside, or might be so out of balance that might think that causing harm will get them somewhere, just still, if inspired, extend your heart. Extend your heart, because we never know when another human being is going through. And the best you can. Now, the other aspect of this, like becoming more concretely aware of other beings, is that this is a new era. So we're going from a predatory era to one that is about mastery and generosity and regeneration and abundance and so forth. And so the old ways of manipulation and harming will not sustain, because people's eyes are open. It won't work. And so if there are beings that fall into that old category, there will be a choice of metamorphosis, transformation, healing, or their fields will dissipate into other systems or other dimensions that are still operating at that field. And that's really a low vibrational field if you think about it. Spending too much time in hate and offense and harming and all those kinds of things. It basically distracts one from their ability to utilize their energy in a way that's beneficial to all. So if inspired, as you go through this moment, I encourage you to pause and really see how the world is unfolding around you, and see the unification of people from all over the world via a sport. So this is so fascinating and beautiful, because sport is very neutral, except for depending who you're rooting for, right? But it's neutral in the perspective that it's two teams or two individuals or many individuals doing their best to succeed in a given moment. And that versus politics or religion is the unifying factor here. And I think for all beings, that everyone everywhere, more than likely, in this field, this universe, is tired of being so serious, is tired of suffering. And so it's an opportunity, especially as we enter into summer and winter, because there's really beautiful inward times in winter, to really let your hair down and have joy, and to lighten up, and see what it feels like, and it's fun to let loose a little. And I think everyone has earned that. And the crossroads of that, of sporting and consciousness opening further so one can understand and potentially see some beings from other world systems or other dimensional fields or this dimensional field, is really the catalyst of opening the mind without getting stuck in the things that cause division and polarity and arguments. It's a really, pun intended, a field and an opportunity to meet each other and observe each other and see how beautiful it is to care for one another. And I saw a man post a beautiful video this morning. I took it in, and his family's from Kansas, and Algeria was there playing the World Cup. And he said that everyone, like in Kansas, is cheering for Algeria. Like that's the way. It's kind of like you have a bunch of guests and you don't have a team, and you meet them and embrace them and sing their songs. And that truly is the fun part of traveling. In my opinion, you're going to meet the culture everywhere I go. I always ask people, where are you from? And they might say like, oh, I'm from here. And I'm like, no, where's your ethnic roots from? And so that's another indicator as we go into this lunar cycle, is that there's going to be a continued reclamation of culture and your ethnic roots in this lifetime. And at the same time, you might start to understand that there's these aspects, these pieces of you, infinite pieces of you in your eternal being. And those can be connected to other lands, other ethnic roots, other star systems, we'll call them, other beings, other world systems. And so some of this will also awaken in you. And I think it's not by accident that everyone got to come together and enjoy each other. It's still going on. And if you have the opportunity to enjoy the community events that are happening wherever you are in the world, I feel like you will continue to be inspired and touched and laugh and be reminded of your humanity. And that if we lead with our heart, we always will be, one, kept safe, kept clear, and remember that life is so precious. It's so brief, this human incarnation, that you might as well enjoy it versus getting your panties in a bunch, as I said earlier. Even if you're in hard times, that levity will help magnetize to you the things that will support you. And that divine love will also propel you to places and people and inspire you to be of service. And that's the other component that's happening, is that I've said this before, there's all these, we have to do this, and this to like get rid of trauma. But really service is this component that automatically takes one out of one's suffering and puts them in a place where they can help others. And when we're helping others, this is our natural state of being. And that's why each and every one of you has these beautiful gifts that were intended to be of service. And they're unique to you. They're unique to your eternal path. And they're unique to your incarnation in this lifetime. So, when you have the opportunity to serve, even if it's just, like I said, talking to a neighbor on the street, if it's helping with a local cleanup, if it's like the Japanese, they went in when they were watching their team, and I guess it's a tradition in Japan, they bring blue bags, plastic bags, and they cleaned up after themselves. And that's very much an Eastern way, is to leave wherever you've been better than you found it. And so right now we have so much to learn from one another, and at the same time open up our field to understand that there is more than just the perceptual human beings, And that will become more visible for many. And many of you out there already have had your own experiences in the waking state, the astral state, lucid dreaming state, in medicine ceremonies, and to understand that those are very real. And for whatever reason, I can't summarize that here, but for whatever reason, you were chosen to be aware of that and to have your experience. And hopefully it was not one that caused trauma, but one that can be held for right now. And that will be needed as people see more things, not AI things, not stuff posted on the internet, but they see it with their own two eyes. That way you can be compassionate with one another and help each other. And for those that want to finally talk about that, you'll be entering that era. And remember, people might say, they're never going to tell us everything. Well, if you hear someone talking about their experience, those are the people you want to talk to, not MSM or SM. Those are devices to continue to confuse the matter. But I promise you we're at that juncture where more and more will be visible, and it's a beautiful thing. And humanity, we have the opportunity to extend our heart like we have been over these past week or so with one another. And I hope it helps you remember what to appreciate, and that in each given day, you can shift by just being thankful for something that you could appreciate within your mundane reality. And I don't mean that to sound boring, but if you can be like, wow, I get to do this, that will keep you in the beginner's mind, which is really important in spiritual practice. And it'll also give you levity and excitement, like, wow, I get to go do this, versus dread. And it'll help you see the things that maybe you haven't been willing to see. It'll help you appreciate all kinds of things. So now, with all that being said, we're going to go into our silent meditation, and I welcome you to come up into a seated position if you're not there, or take a seat. Once you get there, lift your spine up, 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 and then drop the shoulders down and exhale out. Another one, inhale. And exhale. Good. One more, inhale. And exhale. Good. And then continue to follow your natural breathing pattern. Gently breathing in and out.
Space between the space between the space between space between vision, a space between a space between a space between space between vision, a space between a space between a space between space between vision, a space between vision, a space between a space between space between a space between space
And gently from there, I welcome you to gently lean back and recline or move fully into Shavasana, a prone position on your back with your palms facing upward as we transition into receiving sound. As you settle in, just take a nice gentle breath into the heart and out. Again, inhale. And exhale. And one more inhale. And exhale. And then continue to follow your natural breathing pattern.
Taking a soft, gentle breath in and exhale out. Again, inhale and exhale. And one more inhale. And exhale. Good. And then gently from there, moving your fingers and toes. Taking another deep breath in. And out. Good. And as you continue to breathe in and out, I welcome you to just take a moment to express silent gratitude for all aspects of self. Taking another deep breath in and out. Good. Again, inhale and exhale. Good. One more inhale. And exhale. And as you continue to breathe in and out, I welcome you just to bring your awareness back to my speaking voice. And when you're ready, you're going to roll over on your right or left side and then gently come back up into a seated position. And continue to breathe deep, full breaths. Longer exhale than inhale. Just bringing your presence back to here. And as you do this, if there's any people, places, and or things, energetic things. If you'd like to extend gratitude, kindness, compassion there, it's where it's wanted, welcomed, and needed. Please feel free to do so. And so as we exit out, I want to remind you that you're an amazing being, and there are many beings here in this ecosystem and beyond. And may you rest in your sacred heart to meet those moments. And may the world sporting events help prepare you for how to meet those moments. And even in moments of strife or danger, if we stay in our divine heart, unexplainable awareness and interventions can happen versus being opposed to one another. And so this threshold at this lunar cycle is showing us within this world system that we're ready to lighten up, to lead with our hearts, and enjoy one another, and embrace those from other realms, dimensions, lands, all those kinds of places with an open heart, with curiosity, with wonderment, versus applying judgment, offense, really not taking responsibility for one's inner work and projecting it outward. So if inspired, take some time to really recapitulate for self, soften your gaze. Humility is a great friend to us all. And just welcome yourself as we're closing out the last lunar cycle to see. And for all of you out there that have had experiences, those were very real. And if they were not pleasant, may you continue to heal. And if they were pleasant, may you continue to grow from that moment. And either way, know that transformation and growth happens. And from the East, even adversity is celebrated, because that means that there's a reconciliation of cause and effect, and transformation is destined. So, and a new body of awareness is just about to show up for those individuals in that space, and that will help you better serve yourself and others. So I want to thank you all for being here in this moment. I also want to thank Random Rab. We had the space in between today in our silent meditation. I want to thank Dante Marino and Kadri Scott. We're going to lead out with Just Me. And may you all find harmony and balance within, and joyfully open up your heart to those you love, those you don't love, and new friends. Until next time, this is Suzanne signing out with a full heart, a soft gaze, a deep bow, and a namaste. Be simply.